Hello, and welcome to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play show set in the Eberron campaign world. Previously on Khyber Shards, you defeated Cul'sir.
We won!
Yay! The big, bad, evil guy.
Yes.
And there was much rejoicing.
Actually, it was pretty bittersweet.
Yeah,
honestly.
That's true. There actually wasn't. Yeah.
Then our friends
There wasn't really much rejoicing, except I guess kind of among you all. And it was a little bit melancholy because of the scene with Kadric and Ilya.
Yeah. Watch two people die in front of us.
Yeah,
Essentially.
I could go for some rejoicing.
Distance.
So, we're gonna come back in right in that moment. Cul'sir has vanished. The crown and axe have clattered to the ground. Mirren lies dead, and Kadric and Ilya have just faded out of view.
Pog had been next to Ari as he completed his task and is going to give him just the most affirming of back and shoulder grabs, and then turn to Cul'sir's remains, so where he ghosted.
Where he was, yeah.
Go see what was left behind by Cul'sir.
Lying on the ground is a very large and ancient-looking axe, as well as the crown that you saw Cul'sir take from his tomb under the city.
Because of where we have been, before he calls to Ari for advice, Pog's just going to gingerly nudge both of them with his axe. Make sure that nothing reacts.
Neither explodes, nothing jumps at you, nothing tries to possess you.
I'm not a vampire, okay. Ari should...
Having... Sorry, because Shade would not wait for this. So I apologize, Pog.
Yes,
but
Carrie.
Shade, after gathering herself a little bit, after watching Ilya and Kadric fade away, marches over to Ari and says, "No regrets," and just kisses him and says, "I love you too."
Awesome.
End of campaign. Oh, that's delightful.
After a moment of shock and taken abackness, Ari, a smile breaks and he chuckles. I thank you. I love you.
What was that, Pog?
Pog has let the moment air and is just going to grab the crown and axe and see what happens, because he's not interrupting that for anything.
All right, make a wisdom saving throw.
Roger that. I'm not going to push, because Pog's very hurt. That's a 2.
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
I was like, how mean is Philip right now?
Before we hit record, we might do some rolls, but you know, you will see. Like, yeah, we should get back to Stormreach and tell Thora about the Storm Lords. First, though, and Ari walks over to Mirren's body and gestures Pog over. Bring that big axe.
Pog does.
The only way that idiot is ever going to give up his crusade if he hears what Mirren was doing with Soren, selling out the Aberrant. So all I need is her head to make her talk to him.
As he's finishing the sentence, the axe comes down to cleave her head.
It very thoroughly does.
Say no more. I will cut this head clean off for you.
This is a very big axe. This is an axe made for someone twice as tall as Pog.
No problem.
Philip, can I part of my mark and my pact is being able to cast Spirit Shroud that deals necrotic damage to any creature that's within 10 feet of me. starting its turn. Can I just flavorfully do that to the head to get it to like rot down to a skull so I'm not carrying a...
I will.
Oh,
I will absolutely let you. That's so gross.
gross.
Absolutely let you.
Gross.
Well, Ari looks at this
And-
like dripping head and is like, I don't
Yep.
want to, and just brings his hand up,
Just
and like the necrotic
Indiana
energy-
Jones it real quick.
Yeah, and
Pog's
just the,
still trying to collect the axe, going, "Oh my god! Oh my!"
Now, Ari's doing it.
I mean, at a certain point, the skull would just drop out.
fall out, and then Ari would like let the pick the skull up and wipe it off.
Oh, I know where we're heading in this episode, and this is not how I thought it began.
Inspiration, Eric. What a horrible, wonderful thing that you've just done.
I'm gonna put the skull in my bag, and then yeah, we're good.
Shade has missed most of that as she has headed over to her to Harazi. So like this is just happening behind her.
Just in the back of
throwing
the
a
frame,
grossed out tantrum.
Ari like holding a
Slurping skin sounds.
Shade, as you hurry across the space to Harazi, you can see her white and gray fur is spattered with blood from a lot of wounds. Give me a medicine check.
$18.
She is barely alive.
Shade will cast Cure Wounds on her.
Because I didn't dissolve him at the end of last, can I help with that with lay on hands from Minnie being next
Sure.
to her? Add some extra health there.
16 hit
Okay.
points.
I have 5 remaining points in lay on hands, so you can
Okay.
have those as well, Shade.
Sure.
From
Uh,
from Minnie.
Harazi's flanks rise more as she breathes deeper, and her dark eyes open. And looks around. And her eyes sort of scan the space, see the ruins, see the broken off chunk of her lair that's now very small. It
I'm so sorry.
didn't work, did it? Not something went wrong.
Yes. Yeah. We went to the future and then we came back to now with the thing that made Cul'sir do the weird thing, and then he's dead. So it kind of worked.
Good. All right.
Can I get you something?
She rolls and gets her legs under her and pushes herself up onto her legs and stretches her wings. Right. She looks around at the lair. Well, as far as I can tell, this one made it several centuries longer than any other sphinxes. So it's a pretty good run.
Yeah.
It's over then.
I think so.
Good. I don't have anything I have no way to reward you.
I don't need anything. You let us use your time machine and sacrificed your life, and then we were able to defeat Cul'sir. So I don't have anything to give you. Well, unless you want your amulet back.
No.
Okay. Thank you for everything. Answers, a way to get back here. I don't know
It's
how to
going to
say
be best
that.
if you don't spend a lot of time trying to think about it.
Okay, I will gladly not.
Doesn't look like it will be possible to do it again anyway.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No. That's probably enough meddling.
Pog would have left Ari playing with the flesh and headed over at some point during this.
Ari would also be walking over.
Thank you, Harazi. It worked, and it mattered.
Good. I'm glad that you succeeded. And glad for it to be over.
Yeah. Thank you for everything, and sorry that it went wrong initially, but glad that we found a way to make it right. Where will you go now?
I don't know. I don't know.
Without Cul'sir, or at least his threat looming, do you have to stay isolated? Could you come back to Stormreach or somewhere else? We met a Sphinx that lives in Sharn. Well, he did. Sharn was destroyed where we were, so he didn't live there anymore. But
Perhaps. I will need to think about that. I have lived with very few people around for a very long time. I'm not sure I am ready for a city.
that's fair.
It's a hard transition.
But you will be wanting to get back. Let me see if that will still function for a moment. She walks over to a different portion of the vessel, and moving her hand or paw across the wall, you see runes light up. It takes her a moment to get to where she seems satisfied that it's doing what she intends.
While she's doing this, Philip, just real quick, before we teleport back to Stormreach, Ari looks in his bag as he's putting the skull there and realizes, and pulls out 6 potions of greater healing and passes them out to the group.
Wow.
Might as well top up before we head back to the city.
Amazing.
So 4d4 plus 4 hit points when you drink one. Ari's going to drink 2 of them.
4d4?
4d4. each. So
Plus
I'm
4.
going to get...
I'll drink them both as
That's
well.
so funny.
Yeah.
Sweet, thank you. I just drank one.
Okay. How many did you drink, Pog?
Both of them.
Okay, so we have 1 left.
Yep. Pog slammed him down. Still not at half health, so no regrets.
As you are finishing that, Harazi turns and says, "It should work for one more."
Great.
What's the worst that could happen, right?
Here's to 20 years.
Well, it's not that.
Right.
There's no chance of you traveling through time this time.
Should we just start listing the worst things that could happen?
It was a
kill
joke
us all.
I shouldn't have made, Shade. I
Oh.
was just it was teasing the bad things that have. I'll explain it when we're done.
Once you are all in position. Well, good luck, and thank you again. I will
You too.
think about what you said. And she touches a rune on the wall, and there is a
Shade
flash
is
of
grabbing Ari's hand, like you know when the person's white knuckling it on takeoff on the airplane, like that's.
Ari's got her.
light. And you find yourself reappearing just outside, just across the river from the gates of Stormreach.
Ari immediately pulls the piece of parchment out and hits the communicator. It says, Thor, you there? As starts walking towards the gate.
That doesn't seem like it took anywhere near long enough.
Cul'sir's done, but I got some really important information to give you to save the Stormlord's lives from his agents. They're about to be taken out. So, and Ari starts reading the information.
Okay. Thora listens and says, all right. I don't have the assets in place to do this all at once. I'm going to need you to go. I'll go. Let's see. I'm nearest Amarin. I'll go there. Shade, you need to go to the Lord March Palace. That's Selshadra. Pog, get to Molu's distillery.
You son of a...
That's where Lazite will be. Ari, I think you know the way to Amanatu's residence.
Oh, I'll run so fast. Yep.
No.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Ari gives Shade's hand a squeeze before letting go and taking off.
But Pog is going to run into Thora's study and just set this giant axe.
We're not at the school.
Oh, we're not at the school.
We're outside
Great.
the city.
Then he's not going to. He's going to do this whole thing carrying around an 8-foot axe with a crown like a Viking armband around him.
Screaming,
Yeah,
I'm the king of Stormreach.
You all take off running, drawing much strange attention as the city is still very much on high alert, and race towards your locations. We'll roll initiative to see what order this happens in. Just for kicks.
One last time.
Oof.
Says you.
Oh, fair.
Ugh.
Starting with
7.
me. 13.
Yeah, definitely not me.
7.
Hey.
Aw.
So, what was Pog's?
No, de-inspiration.
Pog, yours was what? 13?
13.
Okay. So, Pog, that's you. Yeah, you bolt towards the marketplace. So you're running across the marketplace with a gigantic axe over your shoulders, and there's no way that this doesn't draw attention, and so you hear, Pog?
It's Solarka?
Yeah.
Oh my, this is so much at one time right now. Ah! And Pog's gonna run over to her and set the axe like head on the ground. I need you to hold this. I love you so much. And grab her by the face and kiss her. And I have to finish saving the world and take off running again.
God. Inspiration, Colin. Oh my gosh, that's too good. Yeah, you bolt across, and just burst through the doors of the distillery. Colin,
Hi.
describe the scene of Varen Lassite's imminent assassination that Pog bursts in on.
So this is bursting into the main like pub kind of space that you had described they have previously. So he is standing. There are people along the benches. Clearly he's giving out instruction about what their plan is going to be. And there is a guy at the bar side who is clearly watching and not listening. And Pog turns and comes in right as that man turns and holds a wand just out to the side with his right hand, so it's covered by his left, and Pog yells no and hurls his axe into the shoulder of the assassin, knocking him off, and he tosses the wand off to the side. Pog obviously is going to draw a lot of attention in this moment, but the axe does not have fireball, so that does not happen in this. It's just the attack. And the attention turns because it didn't go more than maybe 10 feet near Varen, so it was not an attack on him. And that is how he stops the man. Barely last second.
Yeah, this man is taken just straight off his feet and hurled against the back of the bar. Several people have sort of turned towards Pog and jumped as if to defend Varen from attack, and all eyes follow the whirling arc of the axe as it takes the man off his feet. The wand lands just as he's casting the spell out of it, and a bolt of sickening green magical energy like shoots from the wand and smashes against a wall with a loud crackling noise, sending this sort of spiderweb of cracks across the masonry of the wall, as all eyes turn to Pog. But we're going to jump to Shade, who I assume has the better dexterity modifier of the two of you who died.
Probably. I just have a 2.
I would also assume that.
Shade, you go farther than Pog. Cal galloping along behind you, racing to the far side of the marketplace, and up the steps of the Lorsmarch Palace. You just pass right through a cordon of the Iron Watch, who turn and start shouting for you to stop as you race for the door, and burst in. Describe the scene inside of Khyber Shards' imminent assassination.
Well, Shade yells back, "I'm doing your job for you." And so
And
she's
inspiration.
yelling that as she's throwing open the doors. And it takes her just a second, but she does spot somebody starting to mouth an incantation. And she points it out to Cal, who flies up to attack them, while she casts Entangle at the same time to wrap the mouth with thorny vines, and identifies where Selshadra is, to put herself between the assassin and Selshadra.
Awesome. Yeah, Cal comes down on the assassin as he's struggling to pull the vines away from his mouth, and just takes him off of his feet. There's some terrible noises and screaming, and then goes quiet. And Selshadra just sort of leans her head out from around Shade's side. Well, that was something.
You're welcome.
Yes. Ari,
Yes.
racing across, all the way across town, at top speed, and through the area of Locksmith Square to the Amanatu residence. As you are coming up on this scene, you see a dark figure crouched on the balcony outside the window. What does Ari do with that information?
Ari would attempt to cast Hold Monster on it.
Okay. The figure seizes up and then just sort of tumbles over as you run to the spot up onto the balcony and see the corpse of a figure covered in the aberrant markings that Cul'sir would often give to his minions, with his throat cut. Immediately, you hear just above you, shh. Looking up, there's an elf crouched on the roof just above, cowled and swathed in dark grays and black. And they raise a gloved finger to, well, where their mouth would be behind the cowl. You turn up in the strangest places. And the cowl comes down, and you are looking into the face of Mirabella Uruvi.
I could say the same about you.
Well, I'm a professional assassin, so rooftops outside people's bedrooms are...
Rooftop assassins typically don't protect people, though, insofar as I can recall.
He was in the way. I would like to think you're not.
Oh, Philip, why are you so mean?
You love it.
Never want to hear complaints about me torturing you again. Tune into Eberron Renewed to know what I'm talking about. Ari looks, looking through the balcony window, like looking straight ahead on the balcony that Ari's on. What does he see in through the window?
You can see a honestly pretty weak and very old looking Yorick Amanatu. Like his beard used to have a lot more black in it, and it's very white now. He doesn't look nearly as fit as he did before. And he is seated at a desk, turning some papers over, looking intent in thought, but old and weak.
Ari looks back up at Mirabella. Who hired you?
This is a job that is not paid in the traditional sense. This is our business.
All right. I won't get in your way, but tell her I want to talk.
I can do better than that. She reaches out a hand to you.
Ari takes it.
And she helps you up onto the roof. Now, this is a very complex operation that's happening right now, and the timing matters a great deal. But She reaches under the cowl and fiddles with something for a minute and then comes out with this amulet that you've always seen her wearing and offers it to you.
It's not going to turn me into a vampire or anything, is it?
Do you think I am a vampire?
I guess the sun's out, so Ari takes it from her.
Have your conversation. I'll be right back.
Okay. Ari focuses on the amulet in a magical way.
Sure. It takes just a moment for your mind to connect to it, and then you're not transported exactly, but you sense her presence again. And you hear, there is a right answer to the question, how did you get this amulet?
Mirabella handed it to me because I said I wanted to talk to you while she performed a murder on your behalf, I believe.
Ah, good. That is an acceptable answer.
I'm glad.
What do you need, Ari? Ari, it's very strange you mention, you reach out to me right now. What just happened?
We just defeated Cul'sir. It was a weird time displacement thing because I guess he had collected versions of himself from various timelines and like an amalgamation. Merrick Stakhanith came up with some device that we got our hands on to disrupt the time disruption thing. So
add 10 to your deception modifier to create a DC.
Okay. What?
I imagine it's high.
But this
You
is
didn't
true.
lie, but you are leaving things out on purpose.
Selective truthing.
Listen, she has nothing to work with here. She's just something.
DC, my deception modifier is 10, so DC 20. I got a 24.
Okay.
I rolled a 14. So
She rolled a natural 1.
Oh,
Kid you not. Rolled a natural 1. I see. Very well.
So I have no idea how it all worked, but it did. But
Interesting.
That's why I wanted to talk to you. And Ari manifests oblivion. I wanted this because he was a threat and was threatening to take one of the people I love the most in this world from me. So now that he's gone, I don't need this anymore, and I'd like for us to be square, but done.
Interesting.
Ezri's alive. I'll keep doing what I can to keep that so.
All right. So this is the point at which you're asking what's the price to be out.
I suppose so.
It isn't much. Ari, you are a very capable meddler when you want to be. I'd like you to not. What Mirabella is doing, really, the idea was inspired by yourself, in a way. What Mirabella is doing will create some more opportunities for others to rise. I have one in mind. I would
Daedric?
just like you. Yes, you are a good observer. I'd just like you to not interfere with that. He's not going to do anything that will endanger Stormreach or the aberrants there. He would just be there to look after my interest and the interest of Seekers in Stormreach and Zendrick.
As long as the city and my people are not under direct threat, then I think I can manage that.
Those are acceptable terms. You're certain you don't want power anymore?
Yes, I would like my ledger seat to be as close to 0 as possible, so... I appreciate everything you've done. I could not have done this without the power that you granted me, so thank you. But I don't need it anymore.
You're sure nothing else happened?
What do you mean?
I don't know. It was a change. Well,
I don't... We were in one fixed location. I don't know if Cul'sir's agents may have done something else, but we were
perhaps.
where we were fighting him.
Very well, Ari. When Mirabella gets back, hand her the glaive. You'll want to be careful getting down off the roof.
Thanks.
It has been interesting.
Yes. It has. Never really figured that we'd find ourselves in this position, but it has been interesting.
Well, you have been of good service to me. I'll remember that. And the communication ends.
Ominous way to end a conversation, but fine.
What was? Mirabella is sitting on the roof.
Nah. Nothing. Ari hands the amulet back to her. I assume your business is all done?
Yes, quite taken care of.
All right. And Ari manifests oblivion, and she told me to give you this, and that I'd be done.
She reaches out, takes it from you, and is a little surprised that it stays in her hand. And you feel immediately different. You become instantly aware of what you cannot do.
Wow. This, I feel like I've been tied to something powerful for so long that it feels weird to feel just like me.
Interesting. Well, you'll want to be away from here quite quickly, I should think.
Yeah, I can. And Ari gestures to the crown of Season's embrace on his head. I can still move about well enough, so.
Good. And
I guess
I recommend
I'll see you around the city.
That you have not been here for quite some time.
Yep. Noted. And yeah, Ari uses 2 charges to get 1,000 feet away from Amanatu's towards the school.
All right. And gradually, you all make your way back towards Greymalkin. Probably with Solarka in tow, because she's going to want explanation about.
Look, I love you guys, but I'm gonna go back to Solarka and bring her back. Like we are. She is coming back.
As soon as Ari sees the others, ideally Ari would wait near the school before they get to Thora, just so he could see Hog and Shade and Solarka.
Normally, your eyes at Solarka.
Normally, it's a treat to see Solarka. Ari wishes she was not here for this conversation specifically. But, how'd it go for you all?
They don't love it if you throw an axe in a bar with a Stormlord, but I saved him. It got done.
At that bar. There's definitely bars in the city that they love it when you throw an axe.
But it did it. He's saved, and I think he's pretty happy about being alive. So, yeah, you're good. Real good.
I think Selshadra owes me now, and I embarrassed the guards. So it went really well.
All wins. You asked that how did it go for yours?
I stopped Cul'sir's agent. Well, with an assist.
You helped Cul'sir's agent?
Mirabella was there. On her master's business to go after Amanatu. And I'm trying to think of the title that Ari would have called her without taking psychic damage. Like, because Arandis hits him in the noggin.
Does it?
Well, that's Phil. Lady Vol basically told me that if I didn't interfere, that I'd be free of my pact with her. So I didn't. And they're going to they're going to try to install Daedric Baynard in Amanatu's spot. But I didn't think I could fight Mirabella on my own without you all there. Also, that would have drawn a lot of attention.
But you're free from her. You didn't agree to do more things.
No. The only price was that I don't meddle in them getting Daedric in Amanatu's spot. So, the price to contact Arandis was to step aside for Mirabella, and then Arandis's price was to keep stepping aside as they get their guy and
killed him.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I value your life more than his.
Yeah, I'm not mad at all. I'm just really happy that you finally agreed it was okay for some people to die sometimes.
Right. Sometimes murder is the answer.
I don't really care about him. If you're happy, I don't know why you don't want to be awesome anymore, but that's fine. It's your awesome to be.
I would like to think I still have traits that make me awesome, but
right.
No, I still got this. Ari gestures at his mark. I don't want or need what she was offering. But I'm not going to tell a whole lot of people
Right.
what I
And
actually
Shade is
did.
looking at Pog.
You should not tell anybody. And Paul gives this side eye to Solarka because that would not. I don't think other people would understand the same way.
I might tell Thora the truth, but I wanted to definitely tell you all the truth before we got into school. So
if you do, you need to make sure you let me know, because I'm just going to plan on lying to her until you tell me to be true, because it's just safer that way.
yeah. All right, let's go get into school. Hi, Solarka, by the way. Nice to see you again.
The next few days are tense. Word drifts in of battle close by. Without the presence of the heralds, without the presence of Cul'sir, the collection of Sulatar Drow and giants that had rallied to him are gradually winnowed away and ambushed a bit at a time in the deep jungles until finally they scatter away from the city. Evidence of their presence is plenty. And it is some weeks before Stormreach returns to any kind of business as usual. But we're going to jump forward. And that's where we're going to wrap up that episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can find links to all of our social media down in the description below, along with links to our Discord, where you can join the discussion about this episode. You'll also find links to Colin's Twitch, where he is sorry BTR. The O is a 0. To the Geek Pantheon's YouTube page, where you'll find Eric making YouTube videos about D&D and TTRPGs in general. You can hear me and Eric playing more RPGs over on the Eberron Renewed podcast, and you can hear me and Colin talking about various forms of media on the I Never Got Into That podcast. One more new episode of Khyber Shards will drop next Monday, and a new KSA this Friday. And until then, thanks for rolling with us.